Hello and welcome to Dawn's Craft Riot. Today, another card. One day I swear we will do something other than a card, but that's not this day. Today we're just going to make a little card, like a little thinking of you card was my thought for today. So I'm going to use Hero Art stamps. Of course, I never remember the name of the stamp set. And I can't find it. I'm going to use these stamps. 4x6, pardon me, clear stamp set. Sorry, I don't know the name. Oh, there we go. Everyday Sayings. CL342, if you're interested. I'm going to use the Thinking of You, but I think we're going to do some surgery on that guy. Let's go ahead and do stamp surgery first, in case we have to change our plans. So I like the font or the handwriting that they've used, but my card is going to be too small for a long sentiment like this, so I'm just going to separate it between thinking and of. I'm just going to cut it apart. You can totally see the whole design, so I can watch myself destroy it if I do. Alright, no, not destroyed. Just cut apart. Cut that little flap off. Don't feel bad about changing your stamps up. So now I'm just going to line these up. And I'm going to stick that to an acrylic block. And then we'll put that on the side and deal with it later, because we have to pick some paper. So we're all set here and ready to stamp. That's stuck to the bottom of this. All right, off to the side. Hello. Hello, Fab. I think I'm going to use, depending on the papers, I think I'm going to use some of these Jolie's Boutique, right, some or one of these sort of antique-y looking embellishments. Although I think I might use the, oh, come on. Fab arrives and the words fly out of my head. Twine. I like this twine, and I think it might go with the paper. I've got my trimmer up here, obviously. The papers that I want to use today are from this set. So when I was thinking about my idea of thinking of you cards, I went and looked through my paper, and this one really grabbed me. I really like the colors. There's like grays and teals and purples going on, greens. And so I was really feeling this pad of paper, so to speak. And I pulled a few sheets out of it. So I just wanted to show you. This is Poppy Seeds, K & Company. Oh yeah, those stamps are fun. I agree. There's a lot of good sentiments in the whole set, and fun to cut up too, apparently. So, all right, onto the card. So this is not from that set, just so you know. Oh, come on, don't even do this. Let's not do this today. You could totally focus on this paper camera because there's lots of texture going on. Here we go, textured cardstock. I just grabbed this piece of gray that it doesn't want to see. I'm real sorry about that, everybody. It's a double-sided colored textured cardstock. There we go. There we go. Don't send it off into blurriness, but it's a double-sided textured cardstock from a Die Cuts with a View pad. I just pulled this out because I thought it might be good for the card base, with the light color on the inside and the dark color on the outside that we could use for matting. And then I pulled these papers. Now this one's got great stuff on, well, they all have great stuff on both sides. This one's got flowers. And then this blue patterning, sort of like little wings. If you look at it too closely, you might get ill. And then this one has got this great flower that I think we'll use as the focal point, and I have cut one of these out already, as you can see. And we might possibly use the green for matting or stamping our sentiment on. Not exactly certain. And then this one here, which I think will be one of the main focal points, and again the backside, oh, and then again the backside is blurry as heck. The backside might be good for matting. So come on, friend. Come on, camera. So I did some research into cameras to find out which would be the best camera to get if I needed to replace a camera, and it turns out the camera I'm using is like the top rated webcam. So I'm going to look into seeing, I'm going to check if I've got a driver issue or something, if there's some way I can make my camera better, but that's neither here nor there. All right, I'm going to cut this into a card base. I'm going to do a 4x4 square card. This is already 4 inches. I had to cut it down for something else, so I think maybe I'll just cut it all the rest of the way across and then cut it down. To 8. Shake the camera. I don't know if that will help if I throttle the camera. All right, and I'm going to cut 4 inches off of this because that should make, since this was a 12 by 12, that should give me 8 inches of length that will fold on, so it'll be 4. I'm trying to threaten the camera. It doesn't seem to respond well to threats. All right, let's get our crease in that. 4, line it up 4 and 4. I'm going to be folding inwards on this, so the lighter color was facing up because that's my inside color. There we go. Alright, so I think I'm done with the score it. I can move that away. Lose my little wooden thing forever. Hopefully not forever. And oh, I keep trying to take my trimmer away because what I don't want to have to do is do a bunch of cutting down. But guess what we're going to have to do? A bunch of cutting down. We're going to do layer after layer after layer. So I want sort of a base layer with a matte. And I want this gray showing as well, so it's going to be a double matte on my bottom layer. Oh, and also let's do a rounded corner on the bottom of the card, just for fun, just to add some interest. So I'm using my Crop-A-Dile, and I think we'll go with the 1/2 inch round as well. Makes it look a little bit fancier. And so we'll do the same thing to our paper. We'll have to round, or to our matte layers, I mean. Stop moving your trimmer, girl. Could it be a distancing my camera not focusing? Maybe, but I've had it this high before. I don't know. Not sure what the problem is. Alright, so let's think about our layers. We can use both sides. There's definitely enough paper that we could use either pattern or both patterns. I think that we're going to do a matte layer like such, with the blue behind. Oops. Just a real skinny matte layer. Hi, Vince. Hi, Cat. Or Catty. Or Cat Catty. However you'd like to be called. So my next step down from my 4x4 is going to be this blue. So I'm going to cut this down to, how long should I cut it? Let's just drop 1/4 of an inch off. So there's 1/8 of an inch on each side. Let me make sure that I'm, yes, that's what I want. I want 1/4 of an inch off. So it was 4. I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off of that for 3 3/4. And I'm also going to go 3 3/4 the other direction. So I'm going to use my little ruler. Can you see that? I'm just going to the, you can just barely see it. I'm just going to the 3 3/4 line because I don't want to hack my paper so much. And then I'm going to just line up my cutter and cut it. All right, so that's my matte layer. And we'll keep that around because I think we're going to want this as well. Let's make sure that is smaller. Okay, it's smaller, works great. We'll cut our 1/2 inch rounds off of our corners there. Excellent, everyone is identifying where they're from. I'm from British Columbia, Canada. And I'm in British Columbia, Canada, both at the same time. All right, so that's my matte layer. Now you could do a technique that Fab has shown before. I lost you at measuring. I lost myself at measuring, friend. It'll be okay, we'll survive. All right, so this one's 3 3/4. So my next layer that goes on top of that is going to be this one. So we're going to need 3 1/2 for this one because I want it to be about the same. 3 1/2. I could have cut those, the white ends where the paper was connected to the pad off, but I just didn't get that far. Been a little bit behind today. Well, I think I made that too big. Oh well. As long as it fits. As long as it fits here. Oh, it does. Perfect. Okay. So now I have a choice because I can put this one any which way. Which way do I like better? This way, I think. Oh. And I put it in the wrong side, but luckily I chose the one I want is the bigger one, so the smaller one can get completely eradicated by the bigger one that I wanted to use. Oh, guys, it's been a heck of a month so far. Okay. I'm just trimming off a little piece of paper that I had not cut carefully and had just pulled across there. All right, so that's my first, what, I like it already. That's my base layer. This card's going to be so simple, you guys, because all I want to do is layer up some paper, use a paper piece, which is the flower that I cut off of the, I'll show you that flower because if I can't find it, we're all going to be waiting around for me to cut another flower. Oh, here it is. This is the focal point, so it's got the blues and greens that we're already seeing. But I want to put another smaller double mat, not double matted, but just like another layer of 2 more pieces of paper on top of this one that goes behind this, and then we'll also have a stamped sentiment, the sentiment that we've already doctored. So your January was like my February is turning out to be. Well, let's just all, well, I was going to say have patience with each other, but I don't know if people need to have patience with you. Just would like it if people would have patience with me while I sort through my technical and otherwise difficulties. All right, so yes, this is the cut up stamp. Doctor your stamps. Let's just stick these together right now. Let's maybe, before we stick them down, put some beautiful color on the edge so it's not just white glaring at you. Oh, let me scroll my chat down or I'll never see what's going on. Oh, we've got all of the people in the room right now are not on the same continent as me, which is very exciting. Sorry, I'm trying to get that to focus while I'm reading all of my distress inks and looking desperately for, oh, this one at the very bottom of my stack over here, the pumice stone. How far can I reach over without coming into this shot? Pretty far, actually. All the way to the end of my table. I want to use pumice stone because it's gray. We've got a gray background. I have pumice stone, so why not go ahead and edge it with that? I could have used blue. Could have used a bluey green. But gray seems perfect to me for this one. I am also edging this, and I think we'll go ahead and edge the card as well. I think that's got a white stalk in the middle. I'm not going to wager a guess. Somebody tells me their city name. If I don't really know what country it's in, I'm not even going to hazard a guess. I see UK, but I know that that's not just one. I just wouldn't want to offend anybody by saying the wrong place. I'm famous in the UK. Sure, I've got my 15 minutes anyways, right? Amongst like 6 people. It's good enough for me. I'm totally happy. I'm great with that. It works. By the same token, you're famous here, Fab, in North America, so actually you've got a lot more exposure than me, what with having your work published and such. Don't do that. I got distracted. Started feeling famous. There we go. Make sure you mount everything on the thing you meant to mount it on. Because if you don't, you may end up with a waste of paper. One day I will be less distracted. I hope. This is a dream. I have a dream. That well, yeah, I know that there's only 3 here, but I know that there's at least 3 more people over in the UK who know who I am. So I was adding them. I was extrapolating from my known data. All right, well, good thing I still have this trimmer out because I sure still need to do more cutting. This one is 3.5, so I want to really jump down. I didn't get it exactly straight. Ooh, look at that. Oh well. Oh. I don't want to think about that day, Fab. You'll always be relevant to me. So let's put something in the middle of this. I wonder if I want to shorten it down or if I still want it to be squarish. I think I still want it to be squarish. Let's go with, let's drop down all the way to 3 inches instead of, because this one's 3.5. So that'll give us a 1/4 inch all the way around. And I think I want to use this. Now this is the hard part for me, guys, deciding what layer I want to do. Actually, maybe I do want it double matted. Oh, double matting. This is all Fab's fault. Fab here in the chat, he got me hooked on double matting. You know, it's like being hooked on phonics. Oh, okay, it's time to take off my slippers, guys. the part where I have to make a choice and I start to get real uncomfortable, super nervy. I think this might be the layer. I think we might want to go with that crazy bright green that's on the back of the page with the flower that I cut up. And then some more gray, and then this thing, and then the flower. Let's see what the flower looks like layered on top of this, because it might not pop enough. Yeah, this is totally Fab's fault. But this doesn't pop enough for my liking. What if we put the gray on top? And then stamp. No, that might be, well, it's going to be small. Don't forget it's small. Yeah, well, maybe I have to go this way. Maybe I've got to go. Maybe I need 3 mats. Well, that's 2. Oh my word. Are you saying good call to 3 mats? Yeah, no, I can't do that. I think I'm going to have to mat the flower part itself and cut it out again. You are going to have to watch me cut something out again, because I think I'm going to put it onto a piece of gray card. Oh yes, and of course, I'm sorry, the old Blurtervision. You're not looking now. I'm sorry, the chat's behind. I can't help it. It's one of the trials and tribulations of crafting live on the internet. It's just slightly behind. Okay, so now I need glue. And because I wasn't planning to do this sticking down, I don't know where my glue is. Oh, but here it is. All right, let's see if we can get it to focus on the glue. Mono multi-liquid. Oh, I'm like way behind. Come on, camera. Seriously, you were listed as the very best webcam. It's so great because it has an autofocus feature. There we go. Frankly, if my hair didn't fall out naturally, I would start pulling it out on some of these days with these focus issues. Goodness gracious. Really, you should be able to focus. There are things there you can focus on, friend. Trying to be kind to the camera. Okay, I'm gluing this down with liquid glue because it's got this really narrow part. Mono Multi is really strong glue. It'll be great. I'm not, no, don't even say that. Oh my goodness. Camera. We should be friends with each other, camera. I'm going to set this off to the side to dry. I don't want to try and cut it out till it's had a minute to dry. It's the part of the show where you have to breathe in and breathe out. I'm going to put this one down, then the green one, then the black one again. Then we're going to put down the flower, and we're also going to stamp, possibly on this color, the sentiment, and we're going to emboss that sentiment in black. So I think it should be good. I think we'll be good. So the piece I want is going to be 3 inches by 3 inches for my bottom layer of this matting, at least so far. I'm going to try it and see what we get. Because if it might look too big. That's how I do it. I try it, I see what it looks like, and I make a decision based on that. So some of us can only plan ahead so far. Actually, I'm pleased with the size of that. I like how that looks. This card is going to be so layered. It's going to be, as they say, a brick. And we are going to use the ink on that. I know the ink is here somewhere. Oh, I put it back on the pile. Share chocolate with the camera. That's actually a really good idea. All right, so as I get distracted by thinking about will my camera like chocolate? Okay, so I don't want to go another 1/2 inch smaller than this. I'm going to go 1/4 inch smaller, so 2 3/4. You can see where I tore the paper, pulling it up out of this. Maybe I'll cut it from that end so that I don't have to. Can I work a cutter? Who knows? Take bets on whether I can work a cutter. Never share chocolate. Hide it under the sofa like you do. Yes, this will be a hypnotic card with layers. That is true. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to get it from this end. That's why I'm flipping it around like a crazy person. All right, 2 3/4. Just cutting the whole strip off of there. So I met, where is it? Oh, sorry. That's good, hey? Just right off the screen. I'll just be doing all of my cutting off of the screen. Thank you very much. Oh, no, you're looking for chocolate, not looking for where I'm at with my paper. Where is the chocolate? Nobody knows. Somewhere under the sofa. Don't tell Fab. 1/2 inch. And 1/2 inch. And that'll go on top of that. Oh, I'm liking it so far. Oh yes, but keep stacking it on the ink so you remember to do the ink. So that was 2 3/4, so we're 2 1/2. Is there chocolate? There is chocolate. There's chocolate here in my house, but I don't have any with me right now. I know it's a disgrace. Complete disgrace. Good grief, man. If I could wrap my head around this, it would be done so much quicker. Alright. Cut that strip off of there. No, there's no chocolate. You ate it. Green and blue together. Pretty. I agree. Especially, well, they're just really good at picking the colors that go well together, but especially like a bluey green. Yeah, no, I like this pattern, this pad of paper very much. And when I looked at it, the colors and the patterns and the doodly lines really spoke to me. They're like, this is the paper you must use when you were thinking of your friends. There's a hunt for the chocolate. Where is the chocolate at? Nobody knows. Well, Vince knows, but he's not saying. That's going to go in them. It looks like a little pocket. How cute is that, you guys? I'm loving it. Okay, let's ink up these edges before I completely forget. Ooh, you're having a Ferrero Rocher. How decadent. I can't have Ferrero Rocher because I'm allergic to hazelnuts. So if we get Ferrero Rocher for Christmas, then my Brian gets to eat all of the Ferrero Rocher. Being allergic to hazelnuts is sad because you don't even get Nutella. I can't speak, but Nutella. Everyone's making all these recipes with Nutella. I see it everywhere. Nutella this and Nutella that, and I can't have any of it. Before I developed my allergy, I had some, and I had Ferrero Rocher as well because I'm no fool. And it was delicious. I can't have it anymore. All right, layers. Thank you. I'm liking it as well. I'm liking this tape runner too. It's supposed to be glue dots, but I refilled it with the wrong thing. That's all right. It's the same company's adhesive. There's Nutella with no hazelnut. What? All right. I will make further investigations. I thought that stuff how could it be Nutella without hazelnut? Oh, it's another brand. Oh, I see. So it's like a chocolate spread. That sounds amazing. Chocolate spread? Yes, please sign me up. I will be checking into that. Let's see if we can get that sort of thing in Canada. This is so layered. I love it so much already. All right, let's cut out this flower, and then we'll figure out how and where we're gonna stamp. I could have edged the flower too before putting it on here. But, oh well. I think there's pumice stone in the marker, so if there is, then that is how I will edge this flower. Ooh. I'll try not to cut into my mat like a jerk. We're going to have a narrower mat in some spots. Than I had originally intended. Sitting here thinking about how goofy it is that I can't talk and cut at the same time. It's just the way it is. My brain doesn't work like that. I'm getting the little tiny scissors to go in this corner. Try not to bend my flower a whole lot. Don't bend your flower. That'll be fine. That'll do. Once we edge it. I do sometimes have to hold my tongue out. But not always. But talking while cutting really throws me off. Oh, and of course my markers are on the other side of the room because I got a great storage unit. Oh, look, there's pumice stone right there. Pumice stone. So I put a whole bunch of stuff in my storage unit, which is across the room. You can you can do a lot of things at the same time. Now, do those things all get done well, is the question. Or do they just get done? Am I on camera? No, why would I be on camera? I am edging this with my pumice stone marker so that it matches with the rest of the things. And also, I say I turned my scissors while I was at the top and exposed some white paper that I didn't want to. I didn't intend to. Just getting right into the little cracks. It's kind of hard to see. Sunflower Nutella. Nice. Well, that I would not be allergic to. I want to try, speaking of spreads, I want to try that cookie butter that I keep seeing in YouTube cooking videos or YouTube testing food videos. Only the eating gets done well when you're multitasking. Nice. All right, I've gone all the way around the flower. I can feel satisfied that there's no glaring white spots. And now we're on to the almost last step of figuring out how we're going to, how and why we're going to stamp on here. I think we just need a little, actually I might be able to stamp this right on here. Okay, should we go crazy and stamp it right on here? Like a crazy person? I will check into that, Fab. Thank you for giving me this Nutella information. It was exactly what I needed. Yeah, I'm just gonna stamp it up in this corner. First, I'm gonna hit it with a lot of powder because I feel like if I don't powder it, I'm gonna get the powder everywhere. And I did want to use one of these, but I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know, maybe. I'll just hold this at the side. I'm only saying that because I'm moving everything out of my way over at the side here. Let's powder this up really well. We can brush any excess powder off. I'm trying to make sure that, oh no, because I was going to say I'm trying to make sure that there's no glue on the edges that's exposed that'll stick to the stuff. But we didn't use glue, we just used tape and it's well behind, so we're all good. All right, but we're still going to powder it up really well. I'm using the detailed black embossing powder, so it likes to stick to everything. Whatever it can stick to, it's happy to stick to. And I'm going to use Versamark ink as well. Get my black powder. I'm using Studio K powder, which I think is like a local, like a brand from I think, oh good grief, I ordered it from a local shop and I think it's their brand, but I could be wrong about that. I get my stamp as inked up as I can. I know I've used this stamp before, so it should be good and prepared. Let's have it right side up. You checked and no. Oh well. Alright, so I'm going to not rock this. I'm going to press it down firmly, but not squish it harder on one side or the other. I'm going to pull it up. And I'm just going to hit it with the powder. Sugar reduced. Alright, I'm not 100% thrilled with the way the powder went. As you can see, it's sticking around the word thinking. So I must have a teeny, teeny, tiny little brush. I do. have a ridiculously small brush and the next size up. And I'm going to clean as much as I can around it because I don't want to waste, don't want to lose this card. I really powdered that too, so this is just, this powder really wants to stick to just about anything. Blowing on it gently to see if that'll make any difference. Alright, this is the little tiny brush. I'm going to use it to see how much of this I can get off of here. Probably rather a lot. Try not to knock it off of the, I'm knocking it off of the tea now by, it's frustrating when the embossing powder does that, that's true. Now, if I really hated it, I could go ahead and stamp this out on another little card and just put it there. But I think we're just going to run with it like this. Because that's the way life is sometimes. As I've said before, sometimes my feelings for people are blurry. Yeah, even with the anti-static bag, it went a bit crazy. Alright, I'm going to hit it with the heat tool. And see what we get. I'm holding it behind the card, but there's so many layers, it's really not affecting, it's not heating my hand up or anything. So. Oh, camera. Alright, so my K and my T is a little messed up. But it's the madness of embossing. That is the truth. 100% the truth. I think we're going to pop this up next to it. Actually, you know what, guys? How about if we just don't? How about if we take the top layer off? This what you call, tape is really good. It's very sturdy. We're going to take the top layer off and put down another layer. How about that? Because we want to do it nicely. Let's do it right. Okay, that one's going in the bin. In the bin. Because why not? I'm like, what color did we put at the top? We put this color at the top. And it's the right width. Perfect. Let's get out the trimmer. And there's glitter in that little bit of embossing. So I'm chucking that embossing in the garbage because I still have almost a full thing here. And I think maybe we're going to scrap the black and go to white. Let's try white. I'm a big fan of white. Such a daredevil. But old Bill Jr., he was a daredevil. You're making me think of old Dead Milkman songs. Which makes me very happy. Okay, thank you for that. Measure. We got 2 inches, 2.5 inches. This piece will be 2.5 inches. We can do this. It's called deconstructing. Correct. We were deconstructing. All right. So I sure do hear car doors. I bet that's my neighbor. Don't ink the edges. I'm going to emboss this right now. I think outside the matted layers. You know, some days, I don't know. Okay, let's Versamark this sucker. Oh yeah, and let's also still use that use that anti-static bag. My goodness, the words are climbing up inside of my brain and staying there forever. Let's get rid of some of that powder. That was an awful lot of powder. All right. Come on, you. You want to stamp and be beautiful. We all just have a beautiful, positive attitude. It should work great. Come on, baby. Come on, embossing. You're gonna work like nobody's business. Or like the embossing people's business. Yes, you're gonna work? Oh, this one's gonna be better, guys. Oh, yeah. There's powder around it. We'll knock that off after this gets embossed. This is gonna be so much better. Oh, it looks like it's part of the doodles. See, that's why the other one went wrong, because this is so much better. I don't know if that is appropriate for my show. that might be better done in private, the disciplining. Yes, that's correct. If you were not at the live show and you were watching this on a recording, you will never know. Never know that secret that we shared that had to do with disciplining. Anyway. By the way, if you are watching on the recording, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. If you're watching on the recording and you've got this far into it, good on you. So there we go. The reason why we had to redo it was because this is way better. It looks like it's part of the doodles now. We can stick this back down and cover up all the mess we left behind it when we deconstructed. Oh yes, and let's not forget to ink the edges. I've already put my tape on, but that does not mean that we don't have to ink the edges. Really, we don't need a glaring white spot. Not that white spots are bad, but when the whole card has only got a couple of focal white things on it, you don't want white spots out the side. Cheeky, rude, what's the difference? Guess it depends on what you're being cheeky about. There we go. Look how great that looks. So much better than the mess we had. I'm gonna just clean my stamp very quickly so that I don't forget it with Versamark ink on. And let's pop up that flower. Flower. You can call me Flower if you want to. And we will use the thicker pop-up tape. These dots. Yeah, it really pops now. It just touched. By whom, though? That's the question. So if you pick papers from the same pad, they're gonna go together, so you can go ahead and take a few extra, like different patterns and things that you might not normally put together. You can have a little bit of fun with it because some designer has already done that work of making sure that all these papers go together, and they've got color schemes that carry over. So you can do this with any paper you have. I know you guys will make great, beautiful stuff. I'm just going to cut a little narrow piece of this foam to go behind my stem because I feel like it needs a bit of structure. Get behind there. You fell from a diving board in Guernsey, and now you're the way you are? I'm assuming that's what you're saying. I'm not trying to be rude. Oh dear. I love you guys. Here you go. Here is our card for today. I'm quite pleased with it, I have to say. If I do say so myself, I'm pleased with this card. And I know you can make something that you'll also be pleased with. Oh, it's from a sitcom. I haven't seen that one. But I have seen the one where they say, "We've got migraine." It's been a while, but I have seen that one. Anyhow, there we go. Here's a little thinking of you card, because I'm thinking of you. Thank you so much for being here or watching on the recording. I will not be here next weekend. No show next Saturday. No, wait, I'm all confused. I'm completely wrong. I will be here probably next weekend, but there will be no show on the 27th. I know that for sure. Good grief, this month has really thrown me off. I lost a week there. So anyhow, I hope to see you next week. Thank you very much, Fab. Hugs to you too. And hugs to everybody else who is watching as well. And yeah, that's it for this week. That's everything I've got for you. I'll see you, what is it, on the 20th? Yeah, I'll see you on the 20th. Take care, everybody. I'm thinking of you. Bye.